I'm counting at least 7 white-tailed deer on the wet meadow this morning. They were up here on the absent field as I arrived. It is maybe 8:30 in the AM on Saturday, December 14th, 2019. In the lunar cycle, that's when the rivers freeze over. I've just heard a magpie, and that bird is going to be marked as the first of my bird count today. Today is the Lethbridge Christmas Bird Count, and I've embarked on my trail, the area between Bridge Drive and Whoop-Up Drive on the west side of the river, to get my count in. It's 13 degrees below zero this morning. My pedometer, my Apple Health said I had about 630 steps before I started, so we'll see what I'm at the end. I have to have note of distance and time and all of that stuff. And yeah, heading toward the river first thing. See if I can get my goose count done before they leave for the stubble fields. I'm feeling much better this morning, by the way. Probably obvious, but yeah, I'm holding food down, getting my energy back. I'll probably burn out at some point this morning, but right now I'm starting off the day feeling pretty good. Not 100%, but a lot better than yesterday. I think most of the neocitrin is out of my system, and the flu too, or whatever it was. Coming upon my first geese. Some right across the stream from me. Some this way as well. Let's see. I've got to take a literal count, but I count 17 right there. And there's still more. Still more, 42. Go over here, we can have a clear view back at them. that, this bridge drive, which is my line, I don't think I have to count those geese that are beyond Bridge Drive. Yeah, I think that's somebody else's spot. Alright. I'm going to recount as I go back. So on closer inspection here on the way back, taking account when they weren't really on the move and I wasn't busy with the camera, I've got 18 in this smaller crew here and 53 from there till the beginning of Bridge Drive. So that's the start of my waterfowl count. Now I'm just going to continue to move upriver and all the way to Whoop Up Drive and count all the geese and other waterfowl along the way. It's another 14 geese out on the edge of the ice there. No golden eyes thus far. And there may be one more pocket of geese kind of over by the high level bridge where I usually stop on my morning round. The forest is pretty quiet. I've seen one magpie. Haven't heard any chickadees, woodpeckers, flickers, anything else. It's a nice calm morning though. No big winds, which is nice. Usually on bird count day it's horrendously windy and cold weather. So this is the bit of open water that the kingfisher was hunting before I came over here and disturbed him. I heard him fly chattering off downstream, but this is where he was when I heard him and when you heard him. 100% fish diet, so winter can get rough for him. I think we might have a little golden eye over there. Indeed. Get out my binocs. Okay, yes, we are making this group 14 Canada geese and one mallard duck. Not a golden eye, but a mallard. And we have more geese yet to count upstream, so best continue. Here's my starling couple who are sticking it out, singing to one another quietly over here. Well, I have another bit of counting to do on this side of the river. So I've counted 89 geese so far on the far line on the opposite side of the river. I still got a lot more to count, but I paused because a raven was flying overhead and was calling, and I hope to get it on video, but he's already passed. I hope not all of my bird footage today is going to resemble like Bigfoot sightings. This down here, just coming into view, is a male common merganser. Looks like he's after something. He's hustling. Maybe he just wanted to show off. Anyway, I'll continue my count. Yeah, so by my count with binoculars, there are 299 geese on the ice there. And there was the one merganser who could have been a female. Maybe it's kind of hard to see in the reflecting sunrise against the water there. Maybe it was a female and she heard me call her a male, and so that's why she came so near and flew off all flustered. I don't know. Anyhow, we have to continue downstream, and somebody's messaging me. Check that out. You guys are gonna hate me, but the truth is a bald eagle just passed by. Big and bold, and kind of dipped and gave me a nod. Went on his way, and I didn't get the camera out in time to catch any of it. So another Bigfoot, but it is making the list. I'm also seeing here below the high level bridge tracks, footy prints of a ringneck pheasant, but if you look close, you'll look how there's already, these tracks have been snowed in. Some of these tracks have been snowed in, so they're not recent enough. I'm not gonna count them, even though like these ones here, they look pretty new, you know. Actually, these are fresh. You can see the little parts of the toe. Hey? So I can count that. I think I'll count at least one ringneck pheasant from tracks at this point, and that is being modest. I think there were probably a few of them down there this morning at some point. River is iced up, but we're gonna go have a look at where that oxbow is. There's that beaver works that I was checking out last week, and below Heritage and Ridgewood, and that outflow there. So there's going to be open water, chances of seeing anything really. We'll find out. That raven's back. See? Raven wasn't a Bigfoot, but she's on the other side of the trestle, and I can't see her where she's perched, and I'm sure that's on purpose. Just noticing there's still some open water and some geese further ahead before Whoop Up Bridge, so still got a job on the river here to do. Gotta continue on. Now entering the Bull Trail Park, leaving the nature reserve. Ooh, little bit of climb here. Well, not that much, but in my post food poisoning condition, or whatever happened to me, I'm counting on those geese to stay there as I make my way around. I know you probably can't even see them on because they're so far out on the, but they are there around that open water patch on this side. The darker edge is geese. And up here, I can't tell with my naked eye yet. I'm not pulling out my binoculars, but I can't tell whether the canal, the storm drainage canal that opens at the Beaver Works, I can't see if there's running water there or not. If there is, we're probably going to find mallards, maybe some other waterfowl, maybe kingfisher, and who knows, could be anything. Hello. I think they had patiently waited for me to do my video. Okay, I think we're gonna get some good luck today, because I'm pretty sure along the canal there I just heard the voice of a kingfisher, which I'm gonna count as kingfisher number 2 for the day, if it's true. And that would be many kingfishers. Because at one time, in the Audubon Bird Count for Alberta, nobody recorded kingfishers. And then they started finding males now and then. A couple of decades ago, some of the big cities, male would stick around because there'd always be a little bit of open waters. But I do think in Lethbridge we have at least 2, maybe 3, because I know there's one at the Wilderness Park too. And I don't think it's the same one coming up and downstream. But look who else we got here. Oh, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I'm not gonna harm you. It's not my deal. This is the little porcupine who lives in this culvert, who we caught the tail of during one of my runs when he squeezed into the culvert to get away from me. Yeah, I can hear the kingfisher. I hear him. I hear him. He's on the canal. Alright. I've got to go find that guy. This time I need footage. This time I got to be careful. This time I got no rush. I can estimate the number of geese that are out there if they happen to take off before we get there, but I don't think they're going anywhere. So I'm going to take my time. We're going to get this kingfisher documented on film in a non-Bigfoot way. My Sony Handycam is jacked from the cold as usual, but I am impressed with the ability of this iPhone 10 to withstand the temperatures. Definitely my My old iPhone 7 couldn't do this. There is up in the treetops what I'm trying to show here. See if I can get any of them in here. Oh, you disappeared on me. Maybe they have. There were at least 3 black-capped chickadees, along with a woodpecker, downy woodpecker. And they were originally just down here where this outflow water is headed. And where I heard the kingfisher is going to be further along this canal here, although, and it's perfect for them really if it has this open water. But there was a couple of people that passed by with dogs, so I'm not confident that bird's still going to be around. Even though you and I both heard him out here. What do we got? What do we got? Some rippling in the water over there. Is there a mallard? Yes, there's a mallard couple. Just as I predicted. Oh yeah, this is perfect. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, totally impressed with this little iPhone 10. And with the Sony Blogger cam that I'm using too. I need a new handy cam. They've obviously updated battery to temperature ratios since whenever it was, early 2000s when I bought the one that I'm hauling. Still open, somewhat. Looks like it kind of gets icy up here, maybe. No kingfisher yet. Okay, yeah, this is kind of iced here. Lightly iced. Mallards are right over there. They don't want to leave. I don't blame them. I'm not going to bother them. The only other place I could imagine that there he is that the kingfisher? I'm going to find out. It might be him in the tree right there. Oh, I need my binoculars out. There's a couple of birds. Kind of checking out the beaver works here. There's a little flow of water right at the beaver lodge, I think. And that's probably better fishing. And there might even be 2 birds here. All right, I gotta look with my binoculars quick. Okay, so that bird that just flew away is a robin, American robin. And there was another bird that was kind of lower in the trees who I've lost sight of and wasn't able to find in my binoculars either. That could be the kingfisher, because this is really good kingfishing territory too. If you're looking for minnows, man, what better place than these little gravel bars below the beaver dam, you know? It's got to be some hot pickings. I think I spotted him. Yes, yes, yes. There he is. That's the kingfisher right there. There he is. I don't know if you see him there. There he goes. What? Wants to be right here on the willows. He's gonna go up the canal a little bit. Get away from me. But we have seen him. So yes, that I am counting as kingfisher number 2, because the first one we encountered was way back, at least equidistant to the high level bridge from where we are, and in the opposite direction of where I heard the first bird departing to. We've gone upstream, that bird departed downstream. So I'm counting that as a second kingfisher. And now to the geese who've waited so patiently for me to come out and pester them. No, I don't think I'll have to do that. I think I can just find a good kind of position up here on this cut bank. It gives me a line of sight, take out my binoculars and get a count. Okay, let's play a game. Check out these geese. How many do you think are here? I just counted them in my binoculars. This pocket here, how many do you think are there? I'll give you a second. I count 278. 278, which is so not too bad. I would have guessed, if I had to estimate, I'd have guessed that it had the same amount as what we had just opposite the high level bridge, which was 300. So the guess would have been pretty close. Now, I think my next step today is going to be to ascend the Coulee just north of Whoop-Up Drive. But I think I'm going to take one more look for this kingfisher. Maybe I get it within scope of my binoculars and I can see whether it's male or female. There should be males only sticking it out this long. If the hypothesis for why they're sticking around is correct. Oh yes, the bird is back. I can see him. Let me get my iPhone out. My binoculars first, perhaps. Oh, no, he's flying. Shit. He's very spooky, that kingfisher. Can't even get anywhere near him. But he wants to be down here by the willows. Some mountain bikes out that way. it's no use. That kingfisher isn't gonna let me get anywhere close now that he knows I'm kind of eyeballing him. Just moving further into the forest as I try to approach it all. So left the canal, and now I'm gonna be headed up one of the Coulee draws this way. But it would be nice to see a great horned owl. Hard to believe that in this whole stretch of forest down here and over by Spopikami that they wouldn't be at least one owl couple nesting, as there in previous years there's been times when there've been owl couples nesting in both simultaneous, you know. So yeah, I'm just spending a little bit more time down here to check for owls, and then we'll climb the draw. So that is a nest, a canopy nest suitable for an owl or a hawk. And no doubt if there were owls who were thinking about nesting down here this year, they would check that out and may have already fixed it up. Their time for nesting is coming up soon. They're one of the first birds, them and the eagles are the first birds to lay their eggs, and it comes usually right in the brunt of the coldest part of winter. Let's see if they were going to use this nest, they would already be around. I would be able to find them here in the forest, unless they just evaded me camouflage wise. Feeling a kind of vertigo here at this point, searching the trees for silhouettes, anything that appears owlish. But if there's anyone down here, they've evaded me. I'm surprised that I haven't run into tracks in this area of ringneck pheasant. Surprised that I haven't encountered any flickers, you know, northern flicker. They're one of the kind of typical birds down here. Well, the males who stay back anyway. I should see one or two of them today. So let's go check a different environment. Let's go up this Coulee. Almost past these guys up. So I was on the trail here, coming out of the forest. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Bohemian waxwings, sitting nice and peaceful to themselves. I won't go any closer and bother them. But getting Bohemian waxwings on the count, on my count, I like that. Really awesome scenery climbing these coulees. This is the very coulee where a lot of Cree were killed in the battle between the Blackfoot and the Cree that occurred here. The big one. Not the last, but the big one. Not much for birds. I've seen one magpie kind of swooping down the Coulee Valley. Saw a couple of people on the other side, mountain bikers, making their way up. Some of my friends don't agree that mountain bikers should be out here. You know, these are walking trails and nature park, and it is a you know, a wilderness strip in here for sure. But me, I recognize that I owe some of my accessibility to areas here to the mountain bikers who have put in the time to make or sometimes upkeep these long time trails, you know. And it really is probably world-class mountain biking here in Lethbridge, but it's the kind of situation where you don't got a gondola to take you to the top of the mountains, you know. If you want the thrill and the scenery of shooting down coulees like the one we're going to go to over in Heritage, the famous Muff, you have to be willing to hike your bike all the way up, and it's a long ways up. But it's worth the effort if you're a mountain biker. Yeah, I don't feel like, you know, out here, as long as things don't get out of hand, I feel like everybody's got a place here doing what they want to do. I think the main thing is look at the impacts to environment. And when I look at the bikes, yeah, these trails and stuff, and some of them, you know, they got to watch where they're making them, because they might be making them next to very sensitive areas like snake dens and stuff like that. But if I see that stuff, I kind of go on the alert. Oh, I'm coming up on a deer here. Looks like at least one mule deer doe. There's a magpie up there kind of watching me approach. Higher up, oh, there's at least two doe there, more bedded down it looks like. Magpie's interested, of course. Yeah, I think when I get up to the very top here, I'm going to be crossing the street and looking for some sustenance. I don't know if it's too early for taco time, and I probably got to take it a little easy, make sure my stomach can handle it. Just a very simple beef taco maybe, but I need something. Look at these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4 at least. Hey, Mama. Yeah, there's probably Mama here. Another magpie up there, curious. Oh, and there's a big guy. There we go. This is his little harem here. Perhaps. His family. Dude, anybody that lives out here in this kind of cold, I think you should be allowed as many wives as you want. Because you need something for those nights, you know? Oh, I think those mountain bikers are coming down this way instead of the Muff. Oh yes. It's a good trail too. the one I was just on. Not quite as thrilling, but
how's it going?
Good. You getting your exercise in today?
Pardon?
Getting your exercise in today?
Just some exercise, but it's beautiful. Well, you know it is.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Too. Have a great day, buddy.
See ya.
Have a good day.
Hey. Sea naturalists. They're good guys. Oh, and suddenly we emerge into civilization. This is the Coulee we were in. Very nice place. So, I'm just gonna hike down the road here and go get some nourishment from taco time, and then probably use their facilities. We're about halfway through. So I bought not one but two regular beef tacos. I've worked up an appetite, and I'm daring to put a little bit of their Diablo hot sauce on there. As if there's going to be problems, might as well go all the way. Let's see how far we've walked. 10,138 steps today, so gone a little distance. 10.6 kilometers and counting. We're no 10 point. Oh, that was the other week I did 10.6. So, but getting there today. We'll see if this fuel up helps maintain. Could go either way. Just making my way back out to the Coulees now. Happy to report that the taco is sitting well. I only ate one of them in the restaurant, and I decided to play it a little bit safe and see how that settled in before or even if I eat the second one. Right now I'm feeling nourished. I feel like I could probably take a little bit more, but I don't want to push it. Can always warm it up later. Leave it to the magpies out here in the Coulee, you know. But I need to keep something in and have some fuel myself. Hard to do this stuff on a weak stomach thing, you know, coming off of a couple of days of... Oh, there goes a flicker. I don't know if I can count that. There goes a second flicker. Can I count that? I'm in the neighborhood, and this is officially someone else's part of the count circle, so probably not. Here's the famous alien playground. Which I used to visit with Belle. Not far from Mahoney's place. Sticking to the outskirts. Alright, once I get back in the Coulee here, it's fair game. My count is on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 geese in a line coming up from my count area. It could be one of the groups of geese that we already counted down there, but I have to include them. Right now I'm walking the boundary between my section and whoever is doing Ridgewood and Heritage. Some previous years I've had Ridgewood and Heritage on my list as well, but I just checked my email, checked my map, and it definitely says I have the stretch of river that I did this morning up to, on the west boundary, the Coulee tops here, but not to include any of the subdivisions. So I think anything I see on this side of the trail I cannot count. Anything on this side of the trail I can. So I don't get to include the blue jays, the flickers, the house sparrows and such that I've seen passing by here, but somebody else will get them. That's somebody else's job. Next up, I think the muff. We'll go down the muff and we'll come back up the next coulee by the old exploded mine. Okay, we're now on the way down again, and this should look like familiar territory for those of you who followed my channel for a while. This was one of the trails that I would normally jog when I was living in Heritage, and in the winter time down here could often find red poles, tree sparrows, usually, black-capped chickadees, definitely some ringneck pheasants, possibly some partridges. Haven't had the partridges on my count for probably 4 years or more. I don't know, at one point just all went ringneck pheasant and all the partridges were gone. But yeah, we'll go down this way. We're gonna enter the muff here, and then we'll come up the next coulee draw adjacent. Just came out of the muff and perspiring a bit. I don't know exactly why. Coming downhill, we got more uphill on the way, but I gotta check that perspiration. So I've taken off my toque, unzipped my jacket. I don't want to get wet in these temperatures. And I don't know, I still got a little bit of work left here. I often would find birds of prey in the muff. Is a good place for them to kind of, like for saw-whet owls and merlins and stuff, to swoop through, and they might be able to nail some smaller birds or mice and that. along the ground there. To my surprise today, though, not even any pheasant tracks. So pretty quiet, and it has been for days there, you know, judging by the snow. I'm also not seeing any rock doves along these cliffs, where in previous years I've counted doves. This might end up being the only year so far that I've done this area and not counted rock doves. So we'll see. We still got to go up. I'm going to climb the next coulee over here, and we're going to go up by the top of the high level bridge. Usually there's some pigeons up that way, but we'll see. Here's the entrance to the mine that exploded in 1943, I believe. 42 or 43. There's several people buried underneath the Coulee slope in here, and there's still kind of smoldering from the explosion. When it gets really cold, like minus 30, minus 40, there's a hole up there, a vent, that some of the steam from the trapped heat is released through. Still not seeing any rock doves anywhere or not even hearing any as I approach the bridge. I don't think I'll walk all the way up, because I don't think it will be productive. I'm going to go through the brushy area down here, because sometimes there's birds in here worth seeing. I don't know. We may end up visiting that coyote playground. I don't know how productive that'll be either, but just to do the diligence, you know. Pretty quiet. Looks like all the geese have departed the river. Probably those ones that I counted flying up over the Coulee rim were from down here, but like I said, I gotta keep them on the count regardless, because I can't know that. I think it's pretty safe to assume that in a city, a lot of the geese are getting counted multiple times by participants in different areas as they pass and move around. Not so for most of the birds, though. I think most of them are pretty localized. Heading back down towards Spopikimi. Maybe we'll cut into the owlwood down here. I hear chickadees. Let's go see if we can find them. This little porcupine just sitting here as still as can be, trying to be camouflaged so that I'll pass by on the trail. I plan to kind of wait him out because he's cute. I want to see him eating. Again at bullberries. So porcupines are up on the bullberries, probably eating the buds for next year's flowers. I don't know, we'll check and see if that's the case. Just headed down into the owlwood when I seen this guy here. Cute. Cuter than Baby Yoda, my opinion. I gotta do a new video about The Mandalorian now that we're a few more episodes in, because my perspectives on that show have changed. Let's go over here and look at this guy. Hey, little guy. What are you munching there? Oh, you're just staying absolutely still. He doesn't really see me. No, he's not gonna use any extra energy. Yeah, she's eating the green tips, the leaf and flower buds for next season. Hey, cutie. Can I hang out with you here for a few minutes? I won't, not gonna try to eat you, huh? They always give me the butt. All the porcupines, you always give me the butt. I don't want the butt. I don't want the butt. What if I shared some of my taco? Would you be interested in that? Let's see what I got. That's what I have here. Just sitting here watching this lone coyote. It's aware of my presence, but not too concerned. I was going to go up to the coyote playground and poke around, but I don't think I'll bother since the coyote's playing around down here. Came to through the Owlwood with no, uneventfully, didn't encounter any birds. And over here, where often there are small passerines, nobody's around, so just me and the coyote visible at Spokane at the moment. And I heard a magpie behind me, so I'll count him in. Yeah, the motivation is slowly fading, and we're already starting to get that shadow. The sun is setting there. It's going to be behind that ridge really quick. We're going to be in shadow and cold here as that happens. So, probably going to be calling it a wrap. Just resting my heels here for a minute and considering my options and whether I want to do any more. I might take one last look on the other side, go back and see if that kingfisher is there, just to show that there's the two. I don't know. So it's probably not worth the time and the efforts. It's been a pretty good day. I'll leave my coyote friend here, the other half the taco that I've got. in my pocket. I don't need it. I don't need it. Coyote and magpies can have it. And whoever else wants a crumb. Very awesome. He was not going to be left out. Here is the northern shrike. I was hoping to see one today, and he's made an appearance. Just got a train crossing the bridge. I was just going to tally up numbers, and then I saw a little magpie flurry going on over here, and the shrike. Went to go perch up there. This may be why there's not too many smaller birds around. This guy's quite the predator, but glad to have got him on the count. One shrike added. Not exactly sure where the coyote disappeared to in the wet meadows, but there is a whitetail out here I can see kind of half concealed in some of the willows. Her waggy tail gives her away. Yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. Glad actually that I didn't go up to the coyote playground, because if I did, I wouldn't have seen the shrike that I was hoping to see. And I'm pretty happy. Didn't see a lot of birds, but I got two of the weird ones that I wanted, right? The kingfisher, which actually got double on, surprisingly enough, and the shrike that we saw just now. So in addition to them, I got 14 black-billed magpies, 677 Canada geese, 3 mallard ducks, 2 of whom were drakes, 1 merganser, common merganser, 2 European starlings, 1 raven, 1 bald eagle, 1 American robin, 1 black-capped chickadee, or no, 3 black-capped chickadees, 1 downy woodpecker, 5 Bohemian waxwings. So, not a terrible day. One does wonder, where are the smaller birds? You know, besides the chickadees and the woodpecker. It wasn't that I didn't have my eyes out for them. They're not down here. So they're probably up in the subdivisions, surviving off of the rations that people are giving them at feeding stations. That's the way it works. But I'm happy. Should look at what the grand total is for distance. Time, it's 1:30. Got out here about 8:30, so I guess that was about 5 hours. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh. Right here in this tree. Watch. As I get close, it's going to fly away. But I could see from a distance what it was already. This is my flicker. Needed to have at least 1 flicker on my count. Pretty sure this is him. See him there? Me kaneki soy. There he goes. Whoosh. Northern flicker. 1 northern flicker. All right. It's a decent count morning. Hope others did well. I'm sure the Wilderness Park was exciting. But I'm curious what other kind of oddballs showed up. And how many belted kingfishers? You know? Wind back just a couple of years, I was the only lonely. But like I say, I think there's more than one on the river these days.